Hello, I'm Devin Costin, and I want to explore the connection between the tragic story of Emmett Till and the insights Roy Simon Bryce Laporte shares in his essay Black Immigrants. Together, they will offer powerful lessons on racial identity, injustice, and struggles that connect us all. Emmett Till, a 14-year-old boy from Chicago, became a symbol of the fight for racial justice after a murder in 1955. Till had traveled to Mississippi to visit family, but while he was there, he was accused of whistling at a white woman. What followed was a brutal act of violence. Till was kidnapped, tortured, and killed by her husband and his half-brother. His body was found days later, configured and lifeless, but his mother, Mamie Till Mobley, made a decision that would forever change the course of American history. She insisted on an open casket funeral to show the world the barbarity of racial hatred. The shocking images of his disfigured body spread across the country, sparking outrage and becoming a rallying cry for civil rights movement. This was a moment in time when the nation couldn't look away. The murder of Emmett Till forced America to reckon with its racial history. Now, let's talk about a more recent story and how it relates. Roy Simon Bryce Laporte's essay, Black Immigrants, discusses the experience of black immigrants in America. For many of these immigrants, arriving in the U.S. is an opportunity for a fresh start or a better life. Yet the moment they step onto American soil, they are confronted with a harsh reality. The color of their skin makes them targets of racism, much like African Americans who have been here for generations. Bryce Laporte speaks to the shared experiences of black people, whether they come from the Caribbean, Africa, or the U.S., and the racial system that unites them in a struggle for justice and equality. Even though their histories and cultures may differ, black immigrants find themselves under the same oppressive system, one that judges them not for their individuality, but for their race. Their stories may be different, but their oppression is often the same. I'm thinking about Till and Bryce Laporte together. Something powerful emerges. Emmett Till's murder wasn't just a tragedy for African Americans. It was a symbol of the violence that any black person, whether born in the U.S. or elsewhere, could face in the same way. Bryce Laporte's essay invites us to understand that the racial struggles is not just an American issue. It is a global issue, one that links the experiences of African Americans and black immigrants across borders. Now, I want to invite you to reflect personally with me. For me, reflecting on the story of Emmett Till and Bryce Laporte's essays made me think about how history is never truly behind us. The fight for racial justice continues in so many forms, and each generation inherits the struggles of those before them. Till's murder was a call to action in the 1950s. For many black immigrants today, the fight is still very real. When we talk about justice, it's not just about one person or one group. It's about everyone. We all carry these stories with us. Whether we recognize it or not, every time we hear about another senseless act of violence, we're reminded that the work Emmett Till and his family started is far from over. And in hearing the stories of black immigrants, we're reminded that their fight, too, is part of the same struggle for justice, dignity, and equality. So, as we reflect on Till's legacy and the shared experiences of black people, from African Americans to immigrants, let's remember that the fight for justice is everyone's fight. It's a collective battle that we all must carry forward. Every story, every life, every moment of struggle is part of the tapestry that calls for change. And when we remember Emmett Till, his life, his death, and his legacy, we must also recognize that the story of racial injustice does not stop with him. It continues and it involves us all. We must look out for it in the real world today to make sure that we can spot it and stop it from spreading to more and more. Thank you for listening today. Let's carry these lessons with us and commit to a further of justice for all. Take care, and I hope today's reflection stays with you.